What's up, guys and gals? Welcome back to Subnautica. My name is Splat. Happy to have you here today as we are back inside our little habitat base. In the previous episode, we had been able to get ourselves all nice and set up we've got a green room, so that's good. Not for like green screening or anything like that, but we've got a room at the moment that's set up completely and totally for growing some plants. Unfortunately, we have no plants, and so what we're going to have to do is I need to go back to the island at some point and pick up everything we're going to need to be able to feed ourselves. That's the next part of the plan here. However, other things that we can do inside as of right now, we can make bulkheads. That's kind of cool. We don't have any lithium, though, unfortunately. So that's probably not going to work. Fabricator is a pretty good idea. I don't know if we have the stuff for a fabricator, but I definitely think it's a good idea to look and see what we can accomplish here. What was the materials for the fabricator? We needed 1 titanium. We needed 1 gold, which we happen to have. And then we needed a table coral over here. And so there's the table coral. Let's go ahead and get ourselves a fabricator. That way we don't have to go back to our other location every single time we want to craft something. I like how the fabricator looks totally disinterested in whatever it is we're trying to do right now. It looks a little molested. The fabricator's like, don't touch me. Oh my god, it's touching. Look, it's got little eyes from the overlay. It's got like little eyes, and then it's got like a little mouth right there. But it went away when I built it, so unfortunately, not a thing we're going to be able to do anymore. Now we have the ability to create objects inside of our domicile, which is great because we're going to be using this a lot going into the future. As far as some of the personal stuff we have going on right now, we've got a dive reel, which is actually something I've been asking to have inside of the game for a long, long time because there is some cave diving in this game. A lot of people don't know that, but cave diving and wreck diving, my dad's an avid scuba diver. Wreck diving and cave diving are 2 of the hardest things you can do, and actually pretty deadly as well. Even if you compare that to stuff like blind dives, which my old man lost a friend of his blind diving out at Berryessa. My dad's got all those certifications and everything like that where you can go in and do all this stuff. We got a habitat builder. We already got that. There's a laser cutter, but we need diamond for that, and I haven't seen any diamond around. Propulsion cannon we haven't really managed to grab onto just yet. However, we did unlock, I think, a recipe for better fins, although I don't know where we make those from. The radiation suit is a nice idea. The fiber mesh shouldn't be hard to make. A high-capacity tank is a great idea as well, because lately I've been noticing we just haven't had the ability to stay underwater as long as I want to. And so today we might focus on trying to get ourselves set up. That way we can do better. You know, I really thought that we picked up some new flippers or something, but it's possible we have to do that through another crafting station that we just haven't unlocked right now. I think what it is there's another thing that like refines objects and makes them better, and we don't have that object yet. So without further ado, I think today's going to be an exploration day. Today's going to be a day where we go out and we get ourselves into a little bit of trouble. I left the headlights on. That's not good. How's the power looking inside of here? 33%. Okay. 33% is not great, but it's going to have to do for right now. Not much of a choice there. Let's ride out. I don't know where I want to go at the moment. There are a number of places we can explore inside of here. Specifically, we've got the mushroom biome down inside of here. There's nothing too dangerous in the mushroom biome. I don't want to dissuade you and say that there's nothing dangerous down here because bad stuff can definitely happen to you down in this biome. But it's not as dangerous as one might think. However, without a pressure suit or an increased dive tank, I think we're going to struggle a little bit down here. We need to get a pressure regulator that's going to make it easier for us to get down to the lower depths. We might be able to snipe something and steal something from the upper regions, though, along the walls. I see fish around, but I don't see any nodes that are going to allow us, so maybe we'll save this for a little bit later. Ow, I ran into something. That was my bad. Didn't mean to. Oh, man, now my fuselage is all busted up. See, not. Damn it, I did it again. Ah, and then I ran over a fish, too. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to commit vehicular homicide. It wasn't what I was trying to do, vehicular fishicide. Oh, our submarine is leaking. Well, over here, we have that the crew reported their sea glide was damaged. We can go take a look at that. I think it's as good of a plan as anything else. We'll kind of just head in that direction, and we'll grab whatever's available along the way. In addition, I'm going to pop out right now. And because our shit is smoking underwater, it's never good to smoke. How could you, sea moth? How are you gonna? You're gonna get carcinomas and things. Is that what they're called? I don't know. You're gonna get carcinogens, and they've got the word sin in them. That's how you know they're extra bad. I'm gonna grab some metal while I'm over here too. I don't have any of the things that I want to have as far as titanium goes. And then other real random things that are happening up inside of here. If we see any quartz around, we should probably take a second to go and grab that too. because we are really low on quartz and glass. And in order to renovate our base and make it look as awesome as I want it to look, it's going to take a lot more of that stuff. We're going to need probably a 10 stack, 15 stack, something in there. So keep an eye out. If you see quartz around, shout it at me through the screen. I won't hear you, fair warning. I'm not going to be able to hear that because interwebs. What is that right there? Is that anything good? A mobile vehicle bay fragment. Well, it'll give me some free titanium, so there you go. Couple of free titanium. Why not? Titanium. Looks like we got something down here, too. What is this? Is there anything good inside this crate? Also, are there any stalkers around there going to try and eat me? The ocean is a scary place, and I don't like it. This game really, it taps on some pretty serious phobias for me. I'm actually super scared of the deep ocean. Like the normal ocean, if I go out to like Hawaii or whatever, and I'm like swimming with the family out in the ocean, it's sort of expected. Hawaiian people love the ocean, all right? The ocean is dope. We swim in it, we snorkel, we do all that stuff. However, that said, I don't like the deep ocean. Once the ocean is like this deep right here, like, nah, that's enough room for very large creatures to be inside of. And I don't want to be around very large creatures. They're scary. This is their home. That's the part that's the worst about it. What is that right there? Like a turbine or something? What is that? A scanner room fragment. We already have the scanner room, so I'm going to leave that alone for a moment. I personally feel like we basically have all the supplies we need in order to make stuff work. This could be a little bit dangerous over here. Or this might be the original biome. I don't know. I'm going to go in this direction until the world changes colors. Downshot is that this is definitely towards the Aurora. And going towards the Aurora is usually a bad plan in this game because bad stuff is around the Aurora. You do not want to be around the Aurora before you're ready. You want to have like weapons on your sea moth. You want to have all kinds of goodies just to ensure your survival. It looks like we've got a life pod over here. And that life pod is actually in the safe zone. Yeah, it's in the temperate zone, strangely enough. I actually didn't expect that. Let's see if there's anything in here that's going to be worth our perusal. There's something on the ground right there. What is that? Sea glide fragment. Okay, that makes sense considering they said their sea glide was busted. Is anything else going on? There's a data box. What does that do? Oh, cool. We got a compass thing, I guess. I mean, I thought we already had a compass, but I guess we don't. Now that I'm looking, that must have been a different game that I was playing recently because I thought we had. I think I'm thinking of Fade to Silence right now. I got a lot of survival stuff happening on the channel at the moment, and it's throwing me off. Throwing me off like an unruly horse. Well, yeah, I don't like the noises that creatures are making around here, so I'm just not going to hang around. I think I'm going to go elsewhere and just hope for safety. We do have nodes and things that we should be able to farm around this area, but what I'm looking for is quartz. So let me scan around for a little bit of quartz, and then once I find a decent supply of it, we can hang out again. But up until then, friendship over. Our search was somewhat fruitful. I mean, it was alright. It wasn't the best search that I've ever done, but it was a search. I mean, we got some quartz. Not a lot, but a little bit. It should be enough to keep us stocked up for the future. I don't know how much of the future it's going to be useful for, but it'll be useful for some future. I want to make the high-capacity O2 tank. And so in order to be able to do that, I need to find some silver as well. Let's go ahead, and I'm going to break down some of the scrap pieces for as much titanium as possible. I don't know how plausible it is to me that they'd be building our spacecraft built out of titanium. What do they make that stuff out of? I don't know. I'm not an expert in that field. However, it would seem to me that, like, that's a lot of titanium. Titanium is usually pretty hard to come by as far as that's concerned. It's not a super frequent metal. I think I've got silver stored back at the other base. So let's go check. I think if we dive on into here and then crash into our base too, because obviously that's how we do it. I'm going to go back to my little base hive over here, and I'm going to see if I can get the high-capacity oxygen tank. And then from there, I'm going to see if we can go back to the island and maybe plant some crops. If I can plant, like, oh, I don't know. If I can plant 5 or 6 plants, that means we'll be able to, what is this right here? It's blinking. What's up?
Signal location uploaded to PDA.
This is Life Pod 6. I have a passenger on board. Coordinates attached. We've landed a kilometer from the crash site, but there's radiation in between us and the rendezvous. Request immediate assistance. 6 out.
Sounds like you got yourself a problem. Sounds like you got an issue, sister. Let's go ahead and grab those right there. That's all the rest of the stuff that we're going to be carrying around. And at least we were able... So we don't have the little thing that gets broadcast inside of our base yet. So that's going to be one of the fundamental reasons why we would ever come back to this location, is because we can take our messages there. It's where our answering machine was. God, I'm old, dude. I remember before answering machines even existed. Like, those were not a thing. Like, if your family had an answering machine, it meant your family was ballin'. It meant your family was super baller. Like, crazy baller. And back in those days, that's why, you know how, like, people always have that same phone message where they're like, leave a message at the sound of the beep. Like, you know how people always say that? The reason people say that is because back when answering machines first came out, people actually legitimately didn't know what to do with them. Like, they had no idea how to make that work. And so they would hear the beep, and then they just, like, wouldn't leave a message or something like that. We got the silver over here. We've got a bunch of gold, so that's great. We're going to need some glass. So let's go ahead and... How much glass are we going to need? I think we needed 2. My entire quartz supply. All things in this game set aside, it's quartz that I have the hardest problem getting decent quantities of. Quartz and lead. Those are the 2 things where it's like, damn it! Like, they're hard to come by. Then again, I remember a time where lead actually had no uses in this game. Like, lead was in the game, but you couldn't use it for anything. Silicone rubber for a new power cell would probably be a good idea. We're going to need that for our sea moth pretty soon. But I'm going to leave it alone for right now. What was I trying to build? I was trying to build something. Oh, a high-capacity oxygen tank. That's what it was. So if I wanted to do the high-capacity oxygen tank, that means I got to take this tank out of my inventory right there. We put it inside the fabricator. And hopefully this gives us like twice as much oxygen as we had previously. But that's a come up right there. That's going to make our survival a little bit more effective. So we've got a new oxygen tank, and it looks like it does 135 versus the 75 that we had before. So we're getting a full extra minute from that tank, which is fantastic. Other things that are going on inside of here, I'm going to drop off some of these supplies. I'm a little full up. We do need water at the moment, which sucks considering we're on a water planet right now. Go figure. Water, water everywhere, not a drop to drink. In fact, I'm pretty sure that poem was written for somebody who was like stranded at sea or something like that. Let me see if I can find us some water and get our vitals back up, and then we'll jump back into the game and decide how we want to progress. So our vital signs are stabilized. We're all good in that regard. What I'd like to do right now is if we can catch some sunlight, I'd prefer... Where's the power cell on this thing? Ah, there it is. Okay, I made another power cell too because I feel like we're going to need it. And the sea moth is more important to me than just like letting it die. I'm not going to let it fall apart. The sea moth has been responsible for a lot of my survival over the last chunk of gameplay, and so I wish to repay it by being a good steward and making sure we take care of our things. I will repair it, I will gently caress its face, and I will do what I have to do as time goes along to make sure that it knows it's appreciated so that it doesn't abandon me in my time of need, because things that are not appreciated, they have a tendency to sell you out. Do we have any resources down in here that I could have? Is that limestone right there? I don't care about limestone. Get out of here, limestone. You're a garbage mineral. Go away. You're a garbage plant. Nobody needs you. Ooh, is that a piece of a reactor right there? I think that's a piece of a reactor. Hold on. What is that? Yup, bioreactor fragment. Let's get it. Oh, I already have the bioreactor. Never mind then. Well, titanium. Let's get it. There we go. It's all about looking on the bright sides. Always look on the bright side of knives. Do-doop. Okay, so let's go out a little bit further than we have previously. Let's live dangerously. Let's have an adventure. So we weren't able to do much out here, but I think these little crystals along the wall over here are either quartz or lithium, if I remember right. I don't remember which. That's quartz. I love quartz. Give me quartz right now. This is exactly what I was looking for. I never have enough quartz. Yeah, buddy. So apparently this is the location to be in if you're trying to get some quartz for you and your baby. Quartz for everybody, maybe. Alright, I'm going to grab all this stuff. That got us... Oh, that light scared me over there. I was like, what is that? It looked like an eyeball for a second. I almost lost my... I almost pooped in the ocean. I almost pooped in the ocean. Generally agreed to be a bad form when you're in the ocean and then you poop in it. And actually, pooping underwater is a lot harder. Ooh, uraninite. I'll take that. I'm pretty sure that's a radioactive crystal that we use for a uraninite reactor, if I remember right. I think is what it's used for. A reactor that doesn't require any kind of like biological material or anything like that. How is our oxygen looking? I was going to say maybe I should fall back. What is this right here? Is that just limestone? What the hell is limestone doing this deep down in the ocean? Such a weird spawn point, but I guess it's just a remnant of the fact that the two zones are kind of married together right here. I'm going to see how much depth I can get. I can't promise that we'll be able to bottom out in here, but I think I can get us close enough to where we can actually explore and do something with this zone. But it does look like, what the hell is that? There was like an explodey thing down there. Hold on. Alright, so kick on the flashlight. Most of what I'm interested in, what is that right there? A ruby. Maybe I need that for a laser or something? I'm trying to think what I would need a ruby for down in here. I mean, I'm not going to turn down some awesome and expensive, even if I'm all by my lonesome on a ridiculous island. But what is this right here? That is a shale outcrop, and it had lithium inside of it, which is a come up. It's something that I think we do need. I don't see any other outcrops around here. But then again, is that another uraninite right there? Because I'm willing to bet we're going to need more than one uraninite before we go back to base. We're not full up on resources just yet, but I'm going to try and pilot this around such that we'll just keep using this to get oxygen as a bit of an exploration buoy for the rest of our adventures. We are losing depth, but getting down and into there is going to require us, I think, to have the moon pool before that's going to become like a functional strategy, unfortunately. I'd like to get down there right now, but just doesn't look to be an agreeable thing that's on the docket for the moment. There's another uraninite over here and some kind of, there's another ruby. Yeah, I don't know how rare or useful any of this stuff is going to be, so I'm going to grab it now in the hopes that maybe we'll be able to make some kind of positive use of it. Also, in the meantime, let's dive down. Oh, we got another message back at base. Okay. Let's take a minute to get down here. What is that? A ghost weed. Alright. It's a life form, apparently. Oxygen is going to drain off at a faster rate because we're below the depth that we're supposed to be at, and that makes you use up more oxygen than normal. I think there's a suit that fixes that later on in the game, but for right now, I think we're a little bit outside of our element, Donnie. Let's jump down in here, and I'm just going to follow this around the side and hope it doesn't put us in too nasty of a location. Then again, I'm a little disorientated right now. I don't know exactly where we're at, but I think that's Reaper territory over there. This, I'm not sure what it is. It's kind of like a little finger biome, I guess. And it looks like it bleeds straight into maybe like a safe zone of some kind. It's hard to tell. It's very difficult to tell, but I think we're along the edge of like red grass on the opposite end. I get disoriented in this game really easy. Like, I can usually find my way from a waypoint out to other locations, but haven't played the game enough really to solidify myself as Kotasar. I'm listening for cues. If there's anything out here that sincerely wants to murder us, I'd like to hear it first, but yeah, that's what I thought. We run those little tendril things that always seem to be along the edges. These are giant quartz crystals. I don't know how to harvest them yet. Special equipment is required, like a knife. A knife is not good enough. I mean, honestly, quartz is super fragile. If you ever find a quartz crystal that's like that big right there, it actually tends to be really fragile because there's dirt worked into its chemical structure. And so, like, it'll break off fairly easily. Getting, like, a pure piece of quartz that's in really good shape and is super solid can actually be a little bit difficult. We've got some metals floating around over here. And it looks like we've got testicle biome. I don't know the official name of this biome, but I call it floaty testicle biome. That might be a little bit crass. Some people might not like my name for it, but hey, they don't have to like it, but they do have to play the game. We are kind of on the edge of crush depth right now, though. Yeah, I could go down deeper, but I think we're going to have to focus on getting ourselves whatever it is that allows us to go down to deeper depths a little bit easier. We do have some kind of weirdness happening right there. I don't know what that is. Seems like there's some kind of rocket launcher critter down there or something. I'm going to hop on out, and we'll take a look at some of these crates and see if there's anything around here we can... There's a thermal plant. Okay. Sounds good to me. I think we deploy that around a thermal vent or something like that to generate electricity. Pretty sure it's just a thermal generator. In general, the way that idea works, if you don't know how a thermal generator works, typically thermal generators, they use heat to boil water and then use the steam to move a turbine. And then the turbine handles an alternator most of the time, I think anyways, or at least some version of an alternator. Most of these crates appear to be stuck shut, and so I don't think we're going to be able to access much of it. There was an explosion down here. There's a little bit of ruby, and there's some other things. So let's go back to the sea moth, and we'll see how that whole thing goes. But actually, I think we're out of time for the day. So we will continue this exploration in our next episode. My name is Splattercat. Very happy to have you here today as we hang out for a little while and play Subnautica, which is one of my favorite survival games of all time. I think it's absolutely fantastic, and I think that you should too. If you wanted to get the game for yourself, what the hell is that thing? I don't know what that is. Looks creepy, though. Oh, shit. Where did it go? Yikes. I don't know what that was, but we've got a Cyclops depth module now. And we've got a thermal plant fragment. And hopefully that thing doesn't come back and try to murder me. My name is Splattercat. Thank you for joining me here at the Nerdcastle for another episode of Subnautica. I am looking forward to seeing you all in the next episode. We will hang out then, and I think it's going to be pretty rad. So, hi-do. If you want to get the game for yourself, it's down below. And that's all I got for you today. Bye-bye.